Hey now. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to Discontinued. Now, what with the amazing, wonderful, fantabulous, the legend, everybody, Jamie Wareham. What's going on? What's crack-a-lackin'? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. We are out of retrograde. I noticed a significant lift on Monday personally, and that could just be the energies in the air. I don't know, but I'll take it. Yeah. I will take it. I also did not get much sleep last night because my mind was just busy as a bee. So yeah, there's that.
So what were you thinking about? I mean,
everything from, oh my gosh, to, outfits I wore at the beach with my late best friend, to the dog and washing the dog, and like what I can accomplish this week. And should I do this program here, or should I write the chakra program, or should I go wash my car? I mean, like, it was on ADD overload. It was bringing up stuff, and I'm like, why now? Why now? Yeah, so then the sun comes up and there's no roosters, but there's that. So, and I have a late night tonight with the Twintorial, where we'll be doing, Colby has me doing, we're both going to do a mermaid face with a twist that is a surprise. I don't know what's happening.
Yay. Oh, I'm definitely tuning in for that.
You've got to tune in, because this is going above and beyond my comfort zone, like he does each time. I envision some sort of sparkles. I don't know what's going to happen to this face. I don't know.
I'm already seeing some sparkles, some ombre, if you will. I love it. I love it.
I wonder if he's going to change his hair color to the green for this. I don't know. Or I
like when he does that teal, that like greeny teal. Oh my God, yes. It looks so good on him.
I call it Aquaman. I'm like, that's your Aquaman.
I love it. Yeah. No, it looks good. So what is it called? Twintorial? I like that name.
He has named it Twintorials.
Oh yeah.
And this is his brother-sister time to show me how to do some things, because he's magnificent with the makeup department. And also, giving people some ideas on some less expensive makeup. Even he's got these whole bunch of $1.25 store kind of hacks and things like that, so you don't have to necessarily blow your whole budget at Ulta.
I love it.
And so I do not normally put a full face on, as he calls it. This is his fun way. Actually, the people voted that this would happen. This was not my idea. The people on the TikTok voted, and they all hollered and say, do it. We want to say, Jamie, try to put on makeup. Now, I put on some makeup, but this is like, quote, full face. I try to remember all these terms. He throws them all out there. I mean, it's like watching, the catwalk or something. I don't know. So it's super fun. I mess up a lot. I get frustrated. I drop pens or pencils. Last time the poof, I forget what it's called. Some blender thing. It was a bounce. It just bounced right across the room. It was amazing. I'm hollering at it. It's definitely, not for the children with my mouth on there, because I kind of it's a fun night, not a spiritual night. So I get a little sassy sometimes, especially if, tools go rolling away. But there's that. So it's tonight at 7 p.m. TikTok.
7 p.m. And you guys are doing it twice a month, right? Every other. So
yes, every other one. I've Power Hour on one Wednesday, and then the next one be Twintorial, then Power Hour, then Twintorial. So it rotates with Power Hour.
I love it.
Yeah,
there we go. Switch 7 and Wondering Fool. The Wondering Fool. Is it the Wondering Fool or Wondering Fool 333 on the TikTok?
That's a good question.
I think it's the Wondering Fool.
I think so.
Yeah.
I wish that he would have kept them all the same. That'd be easier for me to remember and tell folks. There's that. If you get really lost, just go to thewanderingfool.com, and I have created his website for him.
Oh, yay.
And added all of the links there that go directly to where they should go. So if all else fails, go to the website. Same with me.
Easy breezy. I love it. So speaking of different pivots, since you guys are pivoting from spiritual to sassy,
That's
sassy
true.
makeup, I love it. So I was listening to a podcast the other day and I was thinking about, well, they were mentioning pivot. And I know we've heard this word, oh my gosh, so many times in 2020 when everything was, going bonkers. But I don't know another word. So I liked it because it was talking about when do you actually know or recognize when to pivot in a relationship? And this is any kind of relationship, like a familiar relationship, a personal romantic relationship, and even business relationships. Because it was funny because I was like, how do you kind of think about this? They're kind of all in the same because you're looking for, I guess, or you're recognizing kind of the same things in both a personal relationship and also a business relationship. Lack of interest, lack of communication. This is happening in both. Things like not trustworthy, but not untrustworthy.
Distrust.
There we go.
There we go.
Distrust. You know what I mean?
Lack of inspiration as well, and passion.
Yeah.
Both fits. Yeah.
Both fit. So I was wondering, like, how do you, maybe in your perspective, how do you recognize when it's time to be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't continue with this relationship, whether it's business or personal, or how do you recognize that? When are maybe some ways or kind of tips of how to actually deal with it and when to kind of like tune in to certain things?
I heard somewhere once that if you have to set 2 or 3 alarms, then you're not in alignment with your passion in the morning. 2 or 3 alarms in the morning to wake up. Then you're not aligned with your passion. Because when you are, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I know I have, when I am super psyched, I'm like up early. I'm up, I'm ready, I'm excited. Nothing's a chore. I'm just filled, almost a little too excited, but that flame is in there. So I think that's one way to look at it. When
I never thought about that. That actually is kind of genius.
Kind of genius. And that where I heard it might have been in my head. So I don't know. Might be me, the genius.
You're a genius. I
don't know who it was,
I love it.
Maybe it was divinely channeled.
Maybe, but not for nothing. But that is a great point because I used to do this with school. And I recognized, I mean, I'm a smart cookie, but I wasn't like a brilliant mind or anything like that. But for me, school was a chore. Yeah. And it was a chore not because, I wasn't book smart or anything like that, but I think it was a chore for me because I was, I don't know. I just think I was bored, for lack of a better term. I was really bored. I was like, why am I here? I was like, what's next? What's next? It happened also in college. I was like, this is great. I'm not going to Ivy League school. I go, maybe I'll get my degree. Maybe I won't. But like, what's next? Like, I think I need more. I think I need more. So I don't know if it was lack of inspiration or what, but I recognized that when I was younger, I would have to set like a couple of alarms to get up. I was like, and it was the dragging,
Yeah. It's a lack of inspiration. And there is a deep part in your soul that feels this yearning to find and become aligned with your true purpose. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about the pull to what's next,
yeah,
your soul is still searching for the thing that it's yearning for, to align with. If that that's how I see it there. Because, and this doesn't happen, unfortunately, too frequently, in at least folks that I work with or talk to. But when you are in alignment for that moment, there is such a peace that washes over you. You just kind of exhale and you're like, and you're just fine to be where you're at, just being. That's that little nirvana bit right there. Mm-hmm. The other day I had that. I don't remember what I was doing or what happened with the day, but I sat down in the chair in the backyard and I just exhaled and I didn't want to be anywhere else. I was good. right there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's become a little less frequent, and harder to capture. And I'm sure I'm not the only one with the way life is, but I feel
Because
like
I think
that's
we
a
all
moment of
try
alignment.
to, yeah, I think, and aligning and figuring out where you align or where you feel that kind of that peace, that calmness is really, really important because me, I'm number one. I'm like, I have to do something every day, all day until the break of dawn. You know what I mean? And it's very difficult for me to go outside when we were talking about routines, when we posted that today. We were talking about routines of having an actual routine of, making the coffee, going outside, sitting outside, or like walking the grass. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do to not only connect with nature, but to calm the brain. You know what I mean? Like, and start off on a calm foot and not increase the cortisol level, because I'm learning about all this stuff, which is funny because I hated school so much, and hate is a strong word. I didn't like school so much, but now as I've gotten older, I am engulfed in books and in learning and finding out all the different
Because it's
things,
your
which is
choice
funny.
what you study and how you study it.
Mhm.
You are really following your fire with that and what's curious to you.
Yeah.
So you're in control of that now. So that makes perfect sense to me.
Maybe it's a control thing since I was little.
There it is. It's ugly head.
It's ugly.
Two things came to mind when you were just talking, or came through, to decide whether you're avoiding or aligning. So in this constant search, you have to check yourself. Am I avoiding or am I seeking to align? Seeking to align is positive, right? But if I am avoiding feelings or anything like that by constantly chasing something, all right, so you got to check those two.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Avoidance. Yeah. I was doing that for a while, remember? At the beginning, and maybe a little bit still, not gonna lie, maybe a little bit still, 100%. But like you said that, you caught me on that. You were telling me, I think, it was maybe a couple of months in or whatever. I was, it was go, go, go. And everything that I would come out of my mouth, you're like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I'm not making enough money. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And you're like, you got to stop that. Like, you got to stop thinking about the monetary, because it's not about the monetary. Like, kind of rethink what you're saying and what you actually want to do and where you want to come from. And that's going to come. You've done it once, you'll do it again. That's going to come.
Yeah.
And it took me a really big bit. And even sometimes now I'm just like, oh my God, like, I don't have, the pipeline's not very big, whatever, blah, blah. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to come from a place of helping out, see what happens, and go from there. Yeah, there's still stuff coming in, but it's not, big chunks right now. But I think because I've always had not always, I've had a fear of lack of abundance since everything happened with Dirk, because I didn't know like what was going to happen with all of that stuff. So, and I told myself, I never want to be in a position where I can't fend for myself or I can't do things myself. Not that I was super codependent on him, but I had a very secure job and we were, making very good money, but I never did anything with that. It was a lot of spending, not investing. So learning that and kind of that little shake, for lack of a better term, has made me really invest in myself first and then figure everything else out. So whether it's investing monetarily, spiritually, emotionally, whatever it is making myself whole, probably for the first time, versus, having things fill my soul or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong investing with yourself or in yourself and your journey and things like that. And another thing you brought up is truly trusting the universe and believing that money, for lack of a better word, is an energetic exchange. There's not a lack of, you just have to align with more. It's an infinite energy out there. and to really trust that. And that's kind of a far out concept for a lot of folks. And I'm
For sure.
consistently working through that shadow work. I get a bump in there and I think I've worked out the shadow work and something else comes up. So that is a running karmic theme with me personally.
Mhm.
I feel like I really trust the universe, but with that, there is some weird hang up that maybe comes from past life. I'm not sure, but still working on it. And, mantras help that as well, but trusting in the fact that it is just an exchange of energy sort of thing. And
Never
so you
thought
can't,
about it that way. Yeah.
yeah. So it's not that, and I'm trying to use that thought process to release any lack, because I hear what you're saying, because part of why I have so many things in this house is because I acquired them and then took care of them and did not want to release and let go of them for fear that I would not be in a space to buy new ones whenever that time came. And so releasing that thought process, if you will, that programming, old disempowering programming is the key there. Now, is that easy? No.
No, I mean, I don't think,
But it's a clue.
recognizing our faults and working on them is easy, because we don't know any better, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? This is what we grew up with. This is what was quote unquote normal to us. So, this is it. Like, this is what we learned. This is passed on, generationally, whatever the case may be. And unlearning that and actually recognizing that is number one, tough as hell, for sure. And then figuring out, okay, how do I change this narrative?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's the toughest thing. And actually working on it and practicing it.
Putting in the work. That,
because you can say a whole
just
bunch of stuff and be like, yeah, X, Y, Z, but if it stays the same, it's just words. It's not action.
Yep. And you get nowhere. And at some point you get resentful for the entire spiritual process because you're like, this doesn't work. Or did you not work it? That's my question. Because I have been guilty of that as well. Like, I'm not just pointing fingers at folks. It's a real thing to call out and to acknowledge. But yeah, just sitting down and being completely honest with yourself. And that is super scary because we have these defense mechanisms, right? And our ego mind is trying to, just monitor everything. It's a whole monitor, man. But so if you can, if you can have the courage to be super honest with yourself, that's a great starting point. And then, as you're saying, working the process like you're at the gym. There's going to be good days, bad days, and pulled muscle days, and great days, and you might have your favorite jam on the other days, and but consistent. You will see progress. Consistency.
100%. Yeah, it's a big word, but it's a true word, and it's a word that works because even weeks that I don't want to hop on here, I do it because I have to be consistent, and not for anybody else, but for myself, the accountability on myself. And I'm very grateful that I have you to be my accountability partner.
That's true. And I too.
Right.
It's making that commitment to yourself and honoring it shows the universe a lot. It shows the universe you're ready to put yourself up here. And guys, I'm putting my hand up high.
High in the sky.
High in the sky. Put yourself first, that you're serious about honoring that. And those processes can actually help undo some traumas growing up where you didn't, say, protect yourself or stand up for yourself or do something for you. This could also be a type of way that you can start being there for yourself. I'm doing this for, it's a little out there, but it is so.
But it's changing, I think, like we were saying, the narrative, and also changing the mindset, like changing your mindset of how things, should be or need to be or whatever, and how things can be, I believe.
Yeah. It's like the non-negotiable list. You make a promise to yourself. And you got to keep the promise to yourself.
I remember the non-negotiable list.
Because the universe is listening and responding to how you're deciding to treat yourself. They may, the universe may say, well, they're not ready. They just totally broke half the things on the non-negotiable. So, okay, well, we'll keep sending them things to work through that, but not ready for next level yet because they haven't really truly, or they aren't truly honoring themselves in their spark. But letting go, I think, what does letting go mean and stem from for you?
For me, letting go is, so one example that I have that I, from the top of my head is recognizing that a relationship is toxic and it is not helping me in any kind of way, not benefiting me in growth or moving forward or anything like that. And just kind of be like, okay, this is hindering me more than helping me. So maybe it was just like slowly take a step back. And it took me a while to recognize that, because I was such in a fog of thinking that this relationship was it, because it was literally filling in the gaps of kind of where Dirk left off, quote unquote, right? And I think until I really started talking to you about this relationship, because I hadn't talked to you about the relationship for a while. So I was like, she doesn't really need to know.
Withholding information.
Withholding information, as many people do. Everybody withholds information from their therapists, from their doctors. Tell the truth, people, it's going to come out anyway. It's true. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I think we're all guilty of it. But I think recognizing little shifts and little changes in myself that was able to notice, okay, this is probably not a good idea. And actually letting go. And I haven't fully let go because there's other things kind of attached to it, like more business than anything like that. But I'm trying to, and I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was trying to figure out a way. I was like, okay, how can I still work with them without directly working with them? So I'm actually going to work with a partner to kind of not infiltrate, but how do you say?
Intermediate?
Mediate that. You know what I mean? Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. It feels better.
It feels better, right? Because it's like, I think it's becoming heavier than what it needs to be for no reason at all. And I think I'm just recognizing now, I'm just like, you know what? I can do this somewhere else or some other way better, and I can focus on other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go back to asking the universe to show you signs on how this can be easy and prosperous and filled with joy. So you ask, and then it's interesting. They will show you things, show 100%. You options that you did not think of. But you have to kind of surrender and be open to it and quit trying to boss it around, which I've been doing with this particular situation. I've been, as I always say, you can burn all the candles, do all that, but you have to change the mindset. So I've been burning some candles, but I'll be honest with the universe and all that are listening today.
Yeah.
I have not sat down and anchored that energy in. And so, I'm to the point where I'm not seeing progress where I wanted to, and I usually do. So, then I get all huffy about that. Right. I'm like, what's up with that, universe?
Yeah, you're like, why isn't it happening? It should be happening.
What is up with that? And they're like, have you put the time in? Have you sat down and done the thing? Sit down for a second, burn some offerings, do some of this, put a little time into a little effort. Don't just burn a candle, Jamie, this. So that's going to be coming over the next, it's new moon, by the way, on Friday, which is after tomorrow.
Which is the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20.
It's a 19th.
519. Okay.
Yes. So it's like that is new moon. So planting seeds and manifesting. So it's a good energy for doing that. So that's going to be happening all weekend.
Mhm.
And I'm going to put the work in and do the things that I say. So I'm going to walk my walk because I've been just too busy trying to think it through again. And, you know, I don't know how many years I've been doing this. You always, sometimes in a pinch, and when the pressure's on, you go fall back to your old programming, which is, you know, I had that. That's another thought that was running through my head last night.
Yeah.
Falling back into my old programming in that area. And I'm like,
Hmm.
first, I had to be careful not to should on myself. We all know about that. Don't should,
Yes.
should.
Don't should on yourself.
No,
Exactly.
it's very messy. So yeah, and I had to be careful not to do that and just to recognize it objectively from up here, sort of thing, outside like a third party looking in objectively.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what you're doing. So now, how can you let go actually of the outcome and expectation and just allow in all of what you need? So
Yep.
letting go, oh gosh, it hits so many areas.
So many. Yeah. And
From
expectation. Yeah. Letting go of expectations. Like that is the worst. I was an expectation princess or queen or whatever. I was like, no, this is
That's
gonna
right.
happen
You
and
claim
this and this and
queen.
this. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Go higher up.
Yes. But yeah, the expectations, like that is the toughest thing to let go of. That is the absolute toughest thing because you're like 100%. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. And when it doesn't, you're like, damn it, what the hell? What the fuck? Whatever the case may be, whatever curse word insert here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then you're mad at yourself. But like my sister always used to tell me, she's like, why are you mad? Why, like you were expecting the world from this person. And this is not the only person that I was doing this with. That was everybody basically that I dated, you know, until present. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. 100%, you know, this is going to happen and that's going to happen, the X and the Y and the Z. And when it didn't, and I was so pissed, and my sister was like, why do you have so many expectations with this person or that person or whoever it is? This is why you get so upset. And you're getting pissed off and bitchy for no reason. There's no need because you should have expected in the first place. She's
Yeah,
like,
you
no,
had a vision of a framework that you felt that your soul needed to thrive.
100%.
And that's not the blueprint you needed.
No.
You know,
Mm-mm.
you took it off of a movie or a book or
100% a movie.
tale.
Oh, I love a movie, a fairy tale. I want all the things. I want the flowers, the moonlit this, the candlelight gondola, whatever the hell it is, whatever movie, romantic comedy that you've seen, a romantic movie you've seen. I want all of that.
Hallmark and fall. Yeah.
Bingo, bango. Exactly. That is definitely the Pisces in me, the big fucking dreamer, like that fantasy bullshit. That with love, I don't know why. I think because I heard all the stories, like when my mom was sick, all the stories of what my dad and my mom would do together.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it does exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So expecting that.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, poor guys, they had big fucking shoes to fill. Huge shoes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah,
There's that.
There's that. I know, and I understand that now. You know what I mean? And thinking about it now, and I'm just like, God, you poor kid. Like, what the hell were you thinking, really? But because I had this expectation and I had it for so long, and then thinking that it's going to come again and again. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things, especially in relationships, that we have this amazing, fantastic relationship. And then something happens and it ends, right? Whatever the case may be. We have this, I guess you could say, like muscle memory of those feelings and those things that happen that we expect that from the next one. And until we get that, we keep fighting that, if that makes sense.
And we think it has to look a certain way when it's a feeling. A feeling doesn't look like anything. So
100%.
you receiving and aligning with that amazing feeling that you get when you watch the fairy tale stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So however the universe can bring that feeling to you, bring it.
Yeah.
Take it. We'll take it. If it's pink ponies, if it's mini goats, I don't care.
Yeah.
Bring it, because I want to feel that. I don't care what it looks like, because if I'm feeling that, it's going to be awesome. So you guys are the painters, the Michelangelo
100%.
of this. But yeah, it's about that feeling.
It was
It's
wild.
always been about the feeling.
Yeah, it really is. Really is. Because I don't think I really learned that until maybe recently. So I was like, I'm not going to have, when I was telling you, it was a year and a half ago, I was like, I'm not going to do the apps. I'm not going to date. I'm not going to do this, because I want to have a year of learning about myself and what I really actually want. Right. And then of course I get COVID and I get bored and I, download the apps. And then of course I meet this one. And
you had to give it over and surrender for it to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny because I told myself, I was like, I'm going to have zero expectations. If we hang out, great. If we don't, whatever. And literally hit me like a ton of bricks, like just the whole year. And even up until now, I'm just like, who would have thought? And I said, you know what? When you give it up to the universe, like it really happens and you actually work on it, it actually really does happen. And I never believed that prior to coming to you and prior to any of this, because I was like, it's never going to happen for me. It happened once, it's never going to happen again. You know what I mean? And I think as women who have lost spouses, boyfriends, significant others, I think it's very important for us to be so open to that, because it can happen again and it will happen again. And if it doesn't, like, that's okay. Like the love and the relationship that you had with this person, like, give it to yourself. And that was the hardest thing for me to do and to actually like think about. I was like, there is no way, because you're not in that headspace.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to tell somebody that, and they're just hearing words.
Yeah, 100%.
And until they get like a little piece of it, little snack of that goodness. And they're like, hold on, maybe there's something to this. I'm going to start doing my homework. I'm going to start journaling. I'm going to start, putting me first, whatever it is that you're working on. Then you get some momentum going. I always like sit back and like clap my hands, and I'm like, yes, the first time somebody, it just transfers from my words yapping every week to them receiving the experience, and some little light comes on and we're like, now we're cooking. All right, now we're on the road. We just had to get over that big bump there, start that engine. Because it's true. I mean, I can't explain this stuff away.
No, because it is, and it's hard. It's hard to sometimes it's even hard to receive it, because even I remember when we were chatting and stuff like that, I was like, you're like, what are you afraid of? I'm like, it's not going to happen again. And the reason why I was saying it's not going to happen again, because it wasn't going to happen again like that, like how it was. Exactly.
Nothing ever does.
And it's not like that relationship, like that thing, like that business. It's not how it was. That is maybe, I think, how do you say, like the word you use, I love it, the blueprint. This feeling, these little things that you love and you adored from this person, or that you wanted from this person. This is a great kind of like little blueprint of not only looking for somebody else, but also putting that into yourself.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
That, you're never going to have that again, because you're never going to be that person again either. There's no pandemic that's going to give you a TARDIS. Hello, Dr. Whovians. Give you a TARDIS and take you back in time, to where you were. You're constantly evolving. Therefore, what brings you joy is going to constantly evolve. So you have to be open to that new painting and just trust that it's going to bring that feeling in, because that's what we want.
I like that.
That yumminess.
I do like that.
That's what I'm saying. I should take my own medicine sometimes.
Right? See what happens when we talk about it and we're just like, man, we're saying this not only for everybody else, but this is also, we're saying it for ourselves.
Yeah, I
this
think
this is really our therapy.
Yes. That's actually what I love about our chats every week, is that we're not talking above anybody or lecturing. We bring up points, but we're also fully admitting when we are totally failing that week in doing a thing, and, you know, just embracing it, because we're all on the same team here, trying to figure out some stuff.
Everyone's trying to work
on
themselves and do better, be better. And, you know, and we don't always have to be better. Like, you know, let's just be present. I think that is the biggest thing, is being present. Yeah. Being joyous, being happy, being present. Yeah. Shit's hard. I know. I get it. Trust me.
I very recently started to, all right, don't mispronounce it, Jamie. Look into Ho'oponopono, right? Did I say Ho'oponopono? Ho'oponopono. Oh boy.
Ho or Po?
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono.
Dr. Joe Vitale talks about it. He teaches some of it. It's a Hawaiian sort of.
I was going to say Australian, but I was thinking Hawaii.
What?
What is that, Australian? But I knew it was, in my head, I knew it was Hawaii.
Well, you know, that's okay. So it's a spiritual kind of process, practice sort of thing. I'm looking, and there is, and I did not write it down, but there is a set of 4 words, 4 lines that you say every day to yourself in grace, and it helps with multiple layers. It's very similar to the reprogramming mantras that are in other spiritual practices and self-improvement practices, where you recreate, you say something on a subconscious level, and it's tackling traumas, it's tackling where you felt less than. It's kind of a way that's happening in the background as you say it, that you are releasing the energy that's kind of like popping a balloon. That's how I'm seeing it. You know, your traumas and these things are like tight. So you pop some of the air out of the balloon, and it starts to go, and it starts to take away some of the energy from those areas so you can work on them better, and or possibly just release them, sort of thing. So it's a curious thing, because I started looking up, you know, some more inspiration to talk on letting go, and accidentally happened upon this. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do 7 days of saying that mantra and embracing it and doing that. And I'm going to report back next week.
I like that.
How I feel. So there's
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Experiments. Yeah.
I love experiments and I love challenges like that. And maybe we use a different word instead of challenge. Challenge sometimes is sometimes intimidating. What's another word?
All right.
For me, it is. I don't know why. I think challenge, and I think I got to run a 100-meter dash in like 2 seconds. Like I get a little nervous.
What's a good word that calls you to the plate, but inspires as opposed to freaks you out? But we want it a little more assertive, so that you're like, okay, I'm calling you to step up and be your authentic self here. We gotta find one.
Yeah.
Because some of the other terms have been just too like, well, if you wanna. No, I'm calling you to be present with your authentic self, and to give yourself the gift of trying this change for 7 days to see who knows what it could unlock. But I don't know a good word. So people of the world, tell us your favorite alternate word for challenge that's vibrationally lighter and expansive in your chest area, your heart chakra area.
I like it. Yeah, let's do it.
We want to know.
We don't
want her feeling like she's got to run a 100-yard dash here. It's too early for that nonsense.
Mama's nervous. Mama gets nervous.
Got the baton pass. Oh God, don't drop it. Oh God. Oh,
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Awesome. So yeah, so pivoting, learning to kind of find things within yourself to recognize when it's time to um you know, shift different things, move different things around, or let go.
And you
Really.
said it perfectly with is this hurting you or is it helping you? Is it moving you forward or is it taking you totally distraction
Exactly.
mode off course? So checking in with those help you to know and be honest about it when it's time to pivot a bit.
Yeah. Like
And
the
you can
song
always-
says, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. Oh, that is gold.
It's golden. Because it literally just came in my head. I'm like, oh, that's what that song means.
I think we should end all of our shows with a line from a rap song or hip hop, any old way like that. Something
I like
fun.
it. There we go. There we go. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, so where can everybody find you again? I know we posted on here, but I like the people to know.
Yes, lightworkerpath.com. And also, if you are on Facebook and you are spiritually inclined or curious, I invite you to join the Facebook group. It's growing every single week, getting new people in there. It's Spiritual Alchemists. But if you go to the facebook.com/lightworkerpath main page, you're going to see a bunch of links for the group as well. But the group gets the talking bits in there. I threw some Qigong, a 7-minute Qigong magic video that was free for people to try. They're sharing things, everything from Oracle decks to self-help stuff to just some funny pictures. It's a nice supportive group and area there. So I'm trying to grow that a little bit more to get more folks talking. So
I like it. And speaking of decks, so when we had Colby on, there was a request for more information on tarot. So maybe we can do a 3-way call, people.
Yes. Oh, you're turning into him on TikTok. Everything out of his mouth is wrong. I'm like, oh God, oh God.
We'll do a try Zoom, if you will. And speaking of maybe tarot or something like that, that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be super fun.
I like that.
We should definitely do that. He would love to talk about that. And
yeah, the request is
I've
in
been with my little differences and the way we do things.
Yeah,
super fun, super fun.
I love it. Cool.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And thanks for tuning in and check us out next week for who knows what we'll talk about.
Who knows?
Yeah, but send us voicemail, send us stories, send us questions, comments, concerns. We'll read them all. We'll post them all. If you want to be named, cool. If you don't, also understand. But
yes.
yeah.
And if you've had a favorite episode, as of yet, let us know whether it's shadow work or some of the other stuff we're talking about, some topics that you really liked and maybe you want us to explore more of, anything like that.
Yes.
So
and if you have any friends who are physicians, psychologists, psychiatrists, therapists, send them our way. People who discuss emotional health, professors, teachers, professionals, any kind of thing, send them our way. We love to chat.
Indeed.
All right,
you guys have an awesome day.
You too. Take care. Later, guys.
Bye.
Oh, I did something wrong. Hold on. Stop. Oh, there we go.